When you hear the sound of the bell, you know you are in the championship rounds with King Amin of Essex. So let's get to it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do a quick recap of the weekend's action. Gabriela Fundora, she performed pretty well against the opponent that was there, but the real question is, when is she going to uh, speak out for the unification with La Chucky Alaniz? More specifically, in her post-fight comments, she asked, "Oh, me and my team got to find out who has the belts." Everybody know who had the belts because Marlena Esparza held them hostage forever. So La Chucky has them. But if you don't know who's got them, now you know. What I also know, because Fundora mentioned it as much, she made 108 pounds for a flyweight division bout. Not sure if that means that she's eyeing a step down against perhaps Evelin Bermudez or Yesica Nery Plata. Good fights, action fights, especially Nery Plata and Fundora. But if you're not serious at 112, or ducking the smoke, go ahead, step down, step away, or step up and fight LeChucky. Speaking of stepping up, Maricela Cornejo did step up as an opponent to face Cecilia Brækhus. Not as successful in this venture, but she did fight well. So now Brækhus is the WBC interim junior middleweight, super welterweight division champ. Hopefully waiting for a showdown with Emma Kozin if Kozin can get the visa issues squared away. If not, though, Brækhus and Femke Hermans, a new friend of mine. We got a great interview up on this channel, so check it out if you haven't already. But Femke Hermans always ready to rock and roll, and I think that showdown interests her as well. All about the unifications, champions fighting champions. So we'd love to see that. But in the meantime, salute to Brækhus and can't wait to see what's next for her. Now, some news. We're going to get through this a bit capriciously, unpredictably, but I'm going to try to sew it all together. Let's start with the unpredictability of women's boxing. Jessica Camara, the WBA gold titleist in the lightweight division, she defeated Hoon Min Choi, who I said the word hostage, and it's no coincidence I'm using the word hostage in association with Korea, because Hoon Min Choi, the Korean WBA titleist at super featherweight, held that belt hostage. Somehow or another, the WBA gave her a gold lightweight title, and now they seem to be holding Jessica Camara's purse hostage from that bout. Absolutely disgusting, deplorable. So she's been suspended, or barred by the WBA, whatever it is. I mean, fighters like that, they have no place within boxing. And I'm going to talk about another fighter that's holding up a division with some pretty disgusting acts as a so-called champion, but really a title holder. Adelaida Ruiz is not her fault. She is the WBC interim champion, the full champion. Artelis, what's Shorty's name? Ashley Gonzalez. Yeah. She's been holding the title hostage in Mexico. Hadn't fought, I think she fought twice in 2022 and only once in 23. Hadn't fought at all in 2024. This is Ashley Gonzalez, the champ. Horrible to hold up the division in such a manner. And this is the super flyweight division. So this is 115 pounds. Nonetheless, Adelaide Ruiz is the interim champ, and she's defending the title. And the opposition, I had some questions about, because initially I said, what has Ginny Fuchs done to get this title shot? But I got to look at it a few ways. And there's no disrespect to Ginny Fuchs. It's just, again, looking at the 115 landscape. Okay, Adelaide Ruiz wants, a soft touch. I'm not disrespecting Ginny Fuchs, but clearly only 3-0 as a professional, not really, burning down the 115 landscape. So I could imagine that's why Ruiz would duck Jasmine, the animal Artiga. I'm sure that's why you would duck her, but you got to give a legitimate contender a shot. And somehow or another, Ginny Fuchs gets the shot. So Yeah. Not really too pleased with that bout. And again, not too pleased with what's happening at 115. That division must be sorted out somehow, some way. Oh, shout out to Clara Lescurat. We had an interesting exchange not too long ago, but I think we've come to the same conclusion because she's in the division as well. What is she? She's the WBA champ. So, something's got to shake at 115. Hopefully, Ruiz comes out successful. Or suppose Fuchs upsets the apple cart and then makes the belts more accessible. Because I don't know if I see Ruiz making some of the notable contenders. I don't see her making a unification with Les Curat, and I don't see her offering Artiga a title shot. So I'll pray for the super flyweight division. Now, about that, I guess. Well, let's talk. Let's keep it on the Olympian side of things. Stephanie Simon, she's a Team USA fighter. She was on Team USA, I believe, in 2023. Fought in the qualifiers. In 19 amateur fights, in those amateur bouts, she's faced the likes of current Olympian Morel McCain. She's also fought Stacia Suttles out of the Bronx, who just turned pro a couple weeks ago. She's faced Stephanie Pinedo Aquino out of Puerto Rico. So, yeah, she's pretty seasoned in the Olympic scene, and she's making her pro debut. Guess what? On the undercard of Alicia Baumgardner and Delphine in Atlanta. So that's September 27th, right next month, ladies and gentlemen. Great opportunity, to see her take off on such an exclusive card. There's no tickets being sold, but the event, I guess it's going to have some cachet. So let me go here with it. And I want y'all to let me land. A city like Atlanta. First of all, the Persoon and Baumgardner card, yeah, it's so I'm assuming it's gonna be like those cards in Monte Carlo, a bunch of rich people sitting around these nice dinner tables with the low lights and some nice fights in the ring, but it's kind of like not really a genuine fight crowd, but just people just can afford to take in the fight or take in the ambiance. But I'm thinking because this card is the 14th of September, and it's on. No, it's not on the zone, but maybe if Baumgardner was still over at the zone somehow, you could stand to put Elle Brooke on a card in Atlanta. I mean, let's be honest, ladies and gentlemen. Atlanta is not a city that shies away from sex and sexuality. Elle Brooke certainly has, or Elle Brooke, excuse me, certainly has a history with sex and sexuality. So I'm sure she could get the OnlyFans popping, but also get some ticket sales or get some merch. I'm thinking it's an interesting name, and beside the fact she's taken boxing so serious as of late, I can imagine this would have been nice to add to that card, but it didn't go down. Um, Transitioning into the Elle Brooke bout or card, I think that's happening in Newcastle, UK, against a fighter from Tennessee. I forgot Shorty's government name, but she calls herself Jessie Savage, a bare knuckle fighter. Um, Not much other combat sports experience, but she's trying to get in there what she calls herself, or she is the Misfits middleweight champion. They got a champion in that shit, right? So yeah, man, I would have thought that would have been an intriguing pairing. You take a niche fighter, if you will, like Elle Brooke, and put her on a card with some real championship action. Baumgardner-Persoon. That would have been a nice pairing, but I'll just have to dream about it. Certainly won't be dreaming about Elle Brooke. I'm over that phase. All right. Speaking of phases, Senesia Estrada is transitioning, if you believe the rumors, to another phase in her life. I told you I'm a man that loves love myself. So if the rumors are true, Senesia and Estrada, or excuse me, Senesia Estrada Mannix. I don't know if she's going to hyphenate her last name, or she's going to be Senesia Mannix. But according to reports, those two have tied the knot. Young lovers have absconded, and Peggy Sue just got married. No, seriously, I'm happy for her. Now, family planning, because I got kids. You know, when you get married, you usually try to have kids, or it's because you usually have kids or something along those lines. So what I'm saying is, Senesia and Chris, if you guys got any plans for family planning, could you please let the belts go at 105? Can you do that? I would love it. Thank you so much. And if not, hell, maybe you guys got dog children, I can be a doggy godfather. Um, but yeah, congrats to those two. And I'm just wondering how or when that would delay Estrada's return to action. So, last but not least, I just want to cover this very briefly. I mentioned to you guys last week I figured it would be Michaela Mayer who would be a bit more vocal about her discrepancy, her issues with Sandy Ryan and Kei Kimura. And she has been as such a new interview on Boxing Social, and she pretty much laid it out. You guys go check out the details, but I just want to say as much. If someone lets you know how they feel about you, it usually hurts more to keep asking them, but why, but why, but why? So in this instance, if your trainer decides to bring another fighter in, they're showing you something. Read that and accept that and deal with that. It's not up to the person that's being, I love relationship analogies. If you move on, right? A lot of times people like attacking the new person, but it's your partner or your ex-partner that chose this new person. So you're going to go wild out on the new person. Now, if the new person is in close proximity and there's some sort of a triangulation, yeah, that's a little bit classless, but still in all, the person you're with made the choice. Your trainer brought in Sandy Ryan if that was the case. So Sandy doesn't owe you anything. She don't have to back up. Now if you guys had some sort of friendship prior to that, that's one thing, but you got to deal with your trainer. Have you deal with your trainer? By all intents, according to the interview, Michaela's moved on. She loves her trainer, Coach Kofi, out of Ghana. He's a Ghanaian Olympian and former two-time world title challenger, both in the junior middleweight and middleweight division. So he's a well-heeled professional. And again, sometimes you got to move on, but if that's what Michaela's using to both sell her end of the fight and also to motivate herself, I got nothing against it. All right. So hats off to her. And by the way, all of that aside, she said the one thing that you guys need to know, and I already knew from Jump Street, this will be a very exciting tactical fight. They do have a long history with each other from way back in the Olympics. They're familiar with each other. You add the emotional component. It's going to be fireworks, fireworks, fireworks. Now, for this weekend, not so many fireworks. I know there's some stuff happening all over the place, some international action, but the most significant, what matters most, and what you should be paying attention to is Leila Baudon. Because I'm talking about that 130 pounds with Elisa Baumgardner and Delphine Persoon. Of course, Baumgardner is undisputed, but there may be an opportunity. I believe there's a WBO international or something on the line, which should position the winner to challenge Baumgardner or Persoon, the winner of that bout. Nonetheless, you do have Leila Baudon versus Elizabeth Crespo. Lisbeth Crespo. I believe she's out of Colombia. She's got a pretty good fight history, well seasoned and well heeled in the ring. She's faced two former opponents of Caroline Dubois and Maida Moneo and Yanina Lescano. She's also faced Michaela Mayer. Yeah, right. Well seasoned, well heeled. And Crespo is 15-7 with 4 knockouts. Literally the best competition that Baudon has faced. So if Baudon is the goods, we'll see in this particular bout. Um, and on a more somber note, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, I have to end this one with my deepest and most sincerest condolences to the friends and family of Jessie Lynn Silver out of Bergenfield, New Jersey, the young Olympic prospect. She had a cancer diagnosis, I believe, that she succumbed to within the last few days. Didn't quite make it, or because of her treatment, wasn't able to try out for the Paris Olympics, but had her eyes set on Tokyo. But unfortunately, the sun has set on this young lady's aspirations, among other things. So, condolences to her father, Mr. Pedro Silva, and not usually my thing, but I want to end this episode on that note because that's why I'm always pushing movement is medicine, taking the time. And I appreciate you guys taking your time to have this moment with me. Time is very precious. Use it wisely and share it with those that won't waste it and appreciate you. All right. Um, this is it, ladies and gentlemen. Share this, give me a comment, drop a like. I don't care if you talk shit about me. That means you really love me, right? And I love you too, guys. This thing of ours, boxing, women's boxing is boxing. I'll see you guys next time.